Hello and welcome back. It is a beautiful morning out here. August 4th, supposed to be another pretty hot week. So we had some real scorching temperatures there Friday, Saturday, 36, 37 degrees in a lot of fields, and everything is really rushing along toward harvest. Some pulses are already starting to come off, so let's see what's going on out in the fields today. Just sweeping this canola field here. This is up by Carmangay. Very hot, very dry conditions up here. So already these lower pods, there's no color change in them here yet, but these seeds are getting pretty good and firm. So it's not going to be too long. I bet you by next week we're going to start seeing color change in a lot of these fields, especially as these stressful hot conditions kind of carry on. So we'll see. A lot of the dryland barley fields up by Barons are looking like this week. They are ripening up and coming along pretty quick. I feel like a lot of these might be quite light. I think this might be some pretty skinny barley in a lot of cases, but we won't really know till it comes off, and we'll see what field averages look like. There's always, lower spots in the field that look a little nicer, but where I am here on this sandy ridge, it's not looking all that great, is it? Well, the pulse fields have certainly come along quickly since last week. Last week there was still quite a bit of lime and even grass green in this field. Now there's still a few limey green areas here and there, and there's some green plants, of course, mixed in with everything else, but you're always pretty much going to get that. There is also some big Canada thistle patches out in this field you can see out here. I'd hoped to get this sprayed with heat and glyphosate last week, but it didn't happen, so they are now quite ripe, and I'm sure we will probably be taking off this field here within the week for sure. Checking out my bio-stimulant trials today. As you can see, it is very dry and hot here, and these are ripening up really quickly. I honestly can't tell you that any of them look any greener or less stressed than any of the surrounding crop. It seems like it's all maturing at a pretty even rate. For the most part, we are well into hard dough, starting to ripen here now. And it's not going to be too long before we're going to be harvesting in here. Well, some of these barley fields that came off as silage last week have already been reseeded, and we're starting to see some emergence on them already. So these were replanted into oats and a brassica as a cover crop for some fall grazings. You can see those brassicas have germinated here pretty good after just being in the ground a couple days, as well as these oats are coming up. So there is quite a few weeds and some plantain and stuff in here as well, but we'll see how it looks here in a week or two. Well, I'm back in my field of quack grass here, so this got silaged off about a week ago here now, I think about 7 days. So you can see it is growing back pretty good. All this green here you can see is all quack grass. It is just absolute thick as can be. So they do want to seed a cover crop in here, but first we need to get rid of this. So now after 7 days, hopefully we got enough green leaf material and stuff in here. We should be able to get pretty good coverage. We're going to come in here, hit this with a really high rate of glyphosate, make sure we add that crimson in so we get the best effect out of that glyphosate. And hopefully we can then give it a couple of days to move that glyphosate down and get control of those rhizomes before we come in and seed. If we disturb these rhizomes, even with a chisel or whatever, prior to them getting enough glyphosate in them, we'll just get another big flush of quack grass that'll come up later. Irrigated corn looking really good this week. It is responding pretty well to the heat. You can see we're in tassel for a lot of these fields now. Fields are kind of ranging from just first tassels coming out to basically being fully tasseled like this one. And we got some silking going on down here at the bottom. So everything is looking pretty good in here. Irrigated canola still holding up pretty good after the heat on the weekend. Lots of these pods nice and filling out nice and plump, doing pretty good. Still got good leaf structure underneath and really driving that moisture up. So things are looking pretty good in here. Probably going to start seeing color change in a field like this in, maybe 2 weeks. We'll see. There is a little bit of, you can see here, we had some pod feeding. This pod had some diamondback moth larvae on there. So overall, I'm not finding a whole lot in the sweep net, but I did find one pod here where you can see they have stripped that green off. So I have to keep an eye on that. It's right now the numbers were not high enough to worry about an application to control them, but definitely something worth watching. Well, it's at this stage of development we start to see plants like this, which was prematurely drying down. When you pull it up, take a look, you can see we have Sclerotinia in here. Probably both this axle here, this branch axle, as well as this one, it looks like was potentially affected. So that is basically causing those pods and that plant to prematurely ripen. So you will see a few fields like this, or a few plants like this scattered around throughout a field. Even if you use a fungicide, you can't really prevent 100% of it. It's really more of a suppression. So it's not uncommon to see. Well, these second crop oats are looking pretty good this week. This field here, you can see we still have some rye regrowth in here, but really it's for the most part looking pretty good in here. So these are starting to push heads out. We're about knee high now. Really very little, if any, sign of any barley yellow dwarf virus in most of these fields, although this is a resistant variety. You can see we do have some torching of those leaf tips from some of those really hot days that we've had, but other than that, things in here are looking pretty good. Well, some of this dryland canola is certainly rushing along towards completion. You can see this field, we're seeing the first hints of ripening starting to occur. So once we start opening up some of these pods, some of it is just sunburn, but there is actually some color change going on in here. Oh, focus. There we go. So you can see that guy there. We do have some color change going on in there. So we're going to see more and more of that in the next week or two, especially if we don't get rain. A lot of these fields are going to rush along towards ripening. Well, insect populations this week have definitely dropped for the most part. Sorry when I fumble all this with one hand. You can see in there, we do have more flea beetles appearing this week. That's relatively common when conditions are dry and stressful. We do often see flea beetles starting to make a comeback this time of the year. You can see we got a bunch of diamondback moth larvae here, but really not enough to really be of much concern, especially at this point where a lot of these fields like this one, we're really coming to basically early color change or very close to it. This field, very little so far, but you can tell it's right on the verge. These pods are getting pretty tough. The seeds are firming up. We're going to see color change any day now. I've really noticed Lygus population has really dropped off. There is still a few nymphs in here, but compared to last week, most of my fields are testing quite a bit lower. So that means that it's probably either weather related or we just have a really good beneficial population. And right now I'm really not worried about Lygus anymore. Here we have a really nice looking mustard field, probably one of the nicest ones I've seen for a few years, both for the actual mustard and weed control. Really is pretty good in this. So this is a relatively late seeded field and it is doing pretty good, but you can really see out there we really are starting to dry down and starting to mature and ripen. We're still a ways away though. A lot of these pods, even though they look like they're turning, seeds inside are still quite green, so we still have a ways to go. But for right now, looking pretty good. Just gonna need more time. Well, lots of fields like these yellow peas are starting to get harvested. So you can see we got a few combines going over there, just out checking out this area here right now and looking pretty good. You know, these peas got off to a pretty rough start this spring. They were quite short at herbicide timing due to drought stress at the time. And then we got, of course, 7 inches of rain over the course of 2 or 3 weeks, and then we've been dry ever since. So they are standing really well, I gotta say, for that for them. They never really did get super tall, but they did set lots of pods. So they're yielding actually pretty good. A lot of fields I'm hearing 60 to 70 bushels. Even though the seed size is relatively small for meadows this year, they just didn't, have enough moisture to fill out all the way, but still coming off pretty good at about 12% moisture in this field. Oh, here's an interesting field by Nobleford. We got some dryland corn. Now this got off to a pretty late start this spring because when it was seeded there was very little for moisture, if any. So basically it didn't really get going until we got some rains later on in the season. So it's quite short now. It's starting to push out tassels. You can see these leaves are all rolled up. They're quite stressed. But if we do get moisture next week, this field will probably smarten up and look a little bit better. It's too late to really get much height to it. But overall, looking not too bad. And interestingly, right here, this particular plant is showing some green snaps. So planting density here, relatively light. And that's what kind of gave it some space. Probably on a hot, windy day, this has basically bent over and grown that way now. So of course, as this fills out, if the cob ends up here, which it feels like it would be right here, then that weight as it develops is going to snap that off. So quite interesting. Taking a look at this fall rye here, this is all tiller growth off the top that you can see, all pretty much hitting soft dough stage. Main stem heads are all down below and are at physiological maturity, starting to ripen. But a lot of the yield is in the tillers. But unfortunately, you can see we got lots of ergot in here too. So you can see this guy developing nice, all full of sticky sap. There's quite a bit scattered around throughout here. You don't have to look very far. You'll see more heads with it. So not ideal. I think we had it worse last year. I don't think the concentration of it is quite as high this year, but it is definitely here. Here in this dryland field of wheat down by McGrath, there's actually a fair bit of rust starting to show up on some of these leaves here. You can see this is all stripe rust. Stripe rust really likes low humidity temperatures to develop, and that's pretty much what we've been seeing for the last little while in here. It's not like it is really widespread in this field. Overall severity pretty low. These are some of the worst leaves here. Most leaves you just see a little stripe here or there. And now that we are into soft dough for the most part in a lot of these heads, we're really out of the spraying window where it's no longer really cost effective to try to control, especially in dry land like this where fields are rapidly maturing and drying down. But still interesting to see. I'm just glad it didn't appear earlier in the season. And that'll be it for this week, so we'll see what next week brings. It will certainly be a change if we do end up getting some moisture. It would be a nice welcome reprieve, although too late for most crops, but it could still really help some of that canola that's still in pod development. So I guess we'll see what that brings, and we'll see you then.